Now it seems Aam Aadmi Party has widened that gap a bit, but still not as wide as it would have wanted it to be. Where the MCD polls are concerned, viewers, 250 wards, the leads of the Aam Aadmi Party now standing at 129 wards, the Bharatiya Janata Party at 105, Congress at 11 and others at 5. We also continue to stream all the wards that have been declared. Keep a keen eye on the graphics that are playing. We're giving out the results, so if you voted, look out for your ward and look out for the candidate. Did you vote for him or not? Let me cut across right now to our reporters and our studio guests. Joining me is Ashutosh from the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters. Earlier in the morning, there were balloons, there were posters. The festivities have ebbed a bit. Rajdeep Sardesai joins us from his home in Panchsheel, I think. Rajdeep, that's your ward. We can get in the results for your ward. What is your ward?
My ward is the GK ward, I am presuming. Shahpur Jat, sorry, Shahpur Jat. So much for my knowledge of my own ward. Shahpur Jat, where at the moment I think the BJP is leading, but it's a tough fight.
Rajdeep will tell you, I think Shahpur Jat could have been declared, but where is Shahpur Jat? GK, BJP has won. But Rajdeep's ward, Shahpur Jat, I'll ask my producer back in the PCR to pull that data out. We'll tell you, Rajdeep, if you've, your candidate has won or not. You can decide on that. But looking at the figures right now, where they stand, Rajdeep. Aam Aadmi Party leading in 129, BJP in 105. Do you think pollsters read the tea leaves wrong this time around where MCD was concerned? The BJP has pulled far more, at least where the leads are concerned. Yes, the leads are thin in terms of the civic polls margin. They can go anywhere. But right now, this is what it's forming to be.
Preeti, if you look at vote share at the moment, the AAP is getting about 42-43% of the vote share. The BJP is getting about 38%. The Congress about 13%. What it suggests is the BJP was underestimated by 2 to 3%. Most polls were giving it around 35%. So that would be within the margin of error. The Congress was estimated at 5 to 6, 7%. It's getting 12 to 13%. So the Congress actually is getting almost twice the vote share that the polls predicted. And I think that's where the story is. The Congress has, in many areas, taken away vote share that the AAP might have thought would naturally come to them. Particularly in areas, for example, which were riot affected, you will see Muslim populations in those areas. Some of them have drifted back to the Congress. And this, in a sense, is a worrying signal for the AAP, because the AAP, it has been accused, has taken the Muslim vote almost for granted, that the Muslims will turn to them because they see them as the best adversary against the BJP. That's not happening on the ground. So there are several parts of Delhi where the AAP might have sort of taken the vote for granted, where the Congress has picked up additional vote share, not seats, but damaging the AAP. And that could make the difference between the AAP getting 125 to 130 to 150, and that's exactly what seems to be happening. The BJP is holding its own in some of its strongholds, and that shows that a local election, a civic election, is often fought on the basis of strong candidates in those areas, strong pockets where the BJP has dominated over the last 15 years. So a combination of the BJP holding on to some of its strongholds, as well as the fact that the Congress in some areas is damaging the AAP, and maybe an element of overconfidence in some areas for the AAP, has cost them the kind of 150, 160, 2/3 that they were hoping for. So clearly in that sense, there are a few learnings here for the Aam Aadmi Party if these results hold.
Well, you're right there. That's what we were discussing earlier, Rajdeep, because in 2020, even if you look at the state elections, wherever the Aam Aadmi Party won, especially in the riot-torn areas, those areas today are being led where the Congress is concerned. Some of the seats have already been declared. Either it's the Congress or independents have won those seats. Interesting with how it's panning out. Let's cut across right now. My colleague Himanshu spoke to Manoj Tiwari.
I've just been told, Preeti, my ward is Chirag Delhi. So you have to tell me who's leading in Chirag Delhi.
Rajdeep, did you vote or not? You've given us
category of people who did not vote.
I voted.
Do not have a right to crib.
He voted.
Then how he doesn't know his ward? How can he not know his ward?
How do you not know your ward, Rajdeep? Is what Rahul Srivastava was asking.
Or either the polling agents came to his house.
Rajdeep, BJP is leading on Chirag Delhi.
He voted for a symbol, not for a candidate. That is for sure.
Rajdeep, BJP is leading on Chirag Delhi.
He has voted for a symbol, not a candidate. What I reckon with. You have voted for a symbol, not a candidate?
Yeah, so The fact is that none of the candidates came to see me. Unfortunately, all the political parties held a meeting in our clubhouse close by. So the parties came, the candidates didn't. But I've just learned that BJP is leading in Chirag, Delhi.
Yes,
so BJP is leading in my
इनके
ward.
इलाके
In
में
case
कोई
you
इनसे
want to
मिले
know,
बिना जीत रहा
I
है।
won't tell you who I voted for, but the BJP is leading in my ward.
Well, we are not going to ask you who you voted for, but Chirag Delhi, BJP is leading is what we are getting in on that. But what I want to do is, as I bring it, I just want our producers there to actually show you who all we have. We have Rahul Srivastav in the studio with us, our National Affairs Editor Sanjay Singh, who's been with us since 7 this morning, senior journalist Kunal, who knows Delhi by the back of his hand, has covered many civic elections. One of the most interesting civic elections, he'd say, would be this time around. But I want to cut across before we go.
Not as close as this.
Not as close as this, I agree. I want to cut across right now to the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters, where I'm joined by Ashutosh, my colleague. Ashutosh, okay, we're going to cut across to Ashutosh in just about a minute, because viewers, what's really interesting is where the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, though they seem they're going to pull it through, they're going to win this election. Will they win it by the margin that they expected to, or even what the pollsters projected? No, it doesn't seem that's happening. It's going to be limited. There are lots of takeaways, lots of micro headlines that are going to come out from the macro story. Do we have Ashutosh finally? Okay, we don't have. We are going to try and cut across to Ashutosh as well. But one of those micro pictures in this macro story is that performance of the Congress. Now, the Muslim minority vote, which had clearly shifted away from the Congress in 2020, which went to the Aam Aadmi Party, has seemingly now come back to the Congress. Could it be at the back of the Delhi riots, because a huge chunk or a part of those areas were not happy with Arvind Kejriwal or the Aam Aadmi Party's reaction? There seems to be a perception that the Aam Aadmi Party took a certain vote bank for granted, with the perception, Preeti Menon, that they had absolutely no option. They would vote for the Aam Aadmi Party. Despite the Congress's lot, very little, there is no big picture for the Congress in this election, but that vote bank has spoken, and they have spoken for the Congress.
I think what we repeatedly keep steering away from is that Aam Aadmi Party fights all elections on the plank of issues of work and not on planks of vote banks. It is a fact, yes, that people's emotions and people's issues may sometimes make them vote as a group. But in Delhi, most people vote for what is the work that the local councillor, the local corporator will be doing. And therefore, we have only fought on those issues. We've fought on issues of cleanliness, of garbage mounds, of corruption, of the difficulties that businesses have been finding in Delhi. And our issues resounded well with the people.